In this session, we are going to look at the most repeated topics in social studies that you are expected to arm yourself with before you write any external exam like Bece, especially in social studies. The first one is the first topic in social studies occurs. That is meaning, the importance of social studies. You should be able to remember that social studies refers to the study of man in his physical and social environment and how he uses science and technology to solve his problems. You need to also understand, remember the importance of social studies inculcating values and as children in the students, grooming patriotic citizens, making citizens to understand their past. Then you talk about environment. You need to know the environment. Remember, the environment refers to the physical and social conditions that affect around man, that affect how he lives and how he behaves and how he lives in the society. Now, we have two types of environment. We have the physical environment and we have the social environment. Now, in physical environment, we have the man-made and natural environment. If you look at the man-made environment, you talk about things like buildings, you talk about things like dams, you talk about things like roads, and any other thing you can see made by man to make the environment comfortable for him. And the social environment, you also have, it has to do with relationship between man and other people in the society. In this social environment, we have the primary social environment and we have the secondary social environment, the primary group and the secondary group. The primary group has to do with people that are close, that are related. This is where you see the family, the kinship. The social group, secondary social group, these are people that are related formally. Here you see people like clubs, you see school, you see political parties, etc. So you must be able to identify these groups. Now, another repeated topic that mostly occurs in social studies is drug abuse. Remember, drug abuse has to do with consumption of substances without doctor's prescription or outside the prescription of the doctor or using hard drugs or prohibited drugs. Now, you should remember the causes of drug abuse. Frustration is part of it. Poverty is part of the causes of drug abuse. You also have to remember that peer pressure is part of causes of drug abuse. Negative upbringing, wrong upbringing from the parents can cause drug abuse. Curiosity can cause access to drug, can cause drug abuse. You also have to look at solutions to drug abuse. Remember, another topic that you always see is drug trafficking. That is the movement, the illicit business of selling and buying prohibited drugs, moving prohibited drugs from one place to another for a commercial purpose. Now, you have to remember the causes of drug trafficking: poverty, unemployment, ineffective laws or ineffective enforcement of existing laws. You have to look at the solutions. Remember, the government agency that is established, saddled with the responsibility of fighting drug abuse in Nigeria. That is National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and it was created in 1989 under the administration of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Another repeated topic that you see in social studies is the family. Remember, the family is a group of people related by blood, marriage, or adoption. And we have types of family. You have the nuclear family, you have the extended family. Nuclear family made up of only the father, mother, and the children. The extended family includes both the nuclear family and other members of the family. You need to study the importance of family. Another repeated topic you need to look at that must show is socialization. Remember, socialization has to do with, it involves or refers to the process of teaching and learning by which people acquire behaviors that enable them to fit into the society effectively. And you must take note and remember the agents of socialization. Among the agents of socialization, you have the foremost agent of socialization, which is the family. We talk about also the school is an agent of socialization. The mass media is an agent of socialization. Religious groups, agents of socialization. Peer groups, agents of socialization, and others. So you need to know these agents of socialization. You need to know also stages of socialization, the childhood stage, the adulthood stage of socialization. Then you need to know what we call types of socialization. That is how socialization takes place. We have what we call direct learning. We have where people learn in under a consciously planned environment. You have incidental learning, where people learn from incidents that happen by accident. They do it from their experience. We have learning from models. That is when people acquire behavior from the people they look up to. So you should know all these things. Apart from socialization, and also you must know the importance of socialization, we also have another topic that is usually a must whenever you want to write social studies. That is culture. Remember, culture refers to the way of life of people in the society, or the way of life peculiar to a particular group of people in the society. Now, we have types of culture, you must know them. We have the material culture, which refers to those aspects of culture that we can see, touch, and feel. Now, these are things like food, these are things like houses, home, whatever you can see, touch, and feel. You have the other type of culture, which we call the non-material culture or intangible culture. Now, these are the things that we experience, but we can't touch it, we can't see it. Things like language, religion, belief system, norms, values, they all belong to non-material or intangible culture. So culture is a must know before you write an exam in Bece. You must also know the characteristics of culture. Culture is learned. There's nobody is born with culture. Culture is dynamic. It changes from time to time. Culture is shared. That's culture from this particular society or group. This group can be made to be known and even used by another group. You also need to understand that culture is universal. That is, you see it everywhere you go, and other features of culture. So you must identify also common cultures in Nigeria and areas of cultural differences in our country. So you must know this topic. Another topic that is most recurring whenever you write Bece is cultism. Remember, cultism refers to the activity, the illicit activities associated with a group of people whose mode of recruitment and membership are kept secret from the members of the public. And you need to understand the causes of cultism. Of course, poverty is one of the leading causes of poverty. Peer pressure, pressure from the people one associates with, is a cause of poverty. The proliferation of arms is a cause of poverty. The kind of movie people watch is also a cause of poverty, especially when one is exposed to violent movies. It can be a cause of poverty. Injustice in the university system can cause cultism. So you need to arm yourself with cultism, even the consequences of cultism: early death, disruption of academic activities, breakdown of moral values in the society. These are consequences of cultism. So you should know that, and solutions to cultism. Another most recurring topic is poverty. Remember, poverty has to do with a situation where a man's resources is unable to meet his or her basic needs. And you look at the causes of poverty. Of course, unemployment is the leading cause of poverty. Lack of education is the cause of poverty. Lack of skills is the cause of poverty. Laziness, wrong attitude is a cause of poverty. Then you need to also look at how to reduce poverty, provision of infrastructural facilities, poverty alleviation programs by the government, acquisition of skills, free education, and the rest of them. These are things people can put in place to ameliorate poverty in the society. Then apart from these topics I've mentioned, you need to also arm yourself with national economy. The topic national economy, that is where we talk about the mode of production and how we produce and also raise our income as a country. You need to look at, remember, economic institutions we have. These are part of the topics you must arm yourself with. Transportation is another must. That's a topic you must breast yourself with before you write Bece successfully. You talk about meaning of transportation, which is the movement of people and goods from one place to another. Remember, we have modes of transportation. We have transport by air, we have land transportation, we have water transportation, and you need to even pipeline transportation, and you need to know things that are involved in this transportation. Then science and technology is another topic that is most recurring in social studies. If you look at when we talk about science and technology, you must remember what science is. That is about knowledge. You have to remember technology, using scientific knowledge in order to produce things that are useful to man or to create utility. Communication is another topic that is a must to know. Remember, communication is the transmission or sending of information, sharing of message or information from one person to another. And you have to know the types of communication, traditional communication, and modern means of communication. So you have to know about these methods of communication, the importance of communication, the problems of communication. Bank is also one of the things you must study. You must study financial institutions. You must study also savings, how we save and how we store things. These are the topics that you have to arm yourself with before you go into examination hall. Thank you very much for listening. I wish you the best when you write your examination.